It's my dog. The most recent season of Master of None, amazing. I love that we got to see a highly acclaimed show highlight an African American lesbian couple that is such a dynamic that we do not see, okay? And I don't, for those of you who don't know me that way, I am not homosexual, but still I can appreciate the narrative, okay? So this season really focused on Lena Waithe and her partner, and the point in their life where Lena Waithe has gotten her character, I forgot her character's name, has gotten some acclaim and is like got a lot of pressure writing her next book deal. And her girlfriend, or actually it was her wife, was kind of just like going through a career change and was kind of painted early on in their relationship as her accessory, basically. Cooked dinner for her, was her supporter. We do see Aziz Ansari in one episode, and we see how Aziz Ansari's character and his girlfriend, their relationship has evolved, and how they got disconnected, Lena and Aziz, from not staying in touch. And this happens in so many friendships, right? Maybe some of you identify, you get a little bit of success, you lose touch with some of those people who really held you down while you were in the grind, okay? And that was definitely highlighted here of how much they weren't telling each other. And these were friends that grew up together, who really knew each other from like young ages, like teenagers. What I love most about this season was the way it was done, okay? Like, there weren't too many cutaways. A lot of these scenes were just like the camera is just locked in on the two of them having these conversations, showing the body movement, showing the pauses, feeling that awkwardness that you feel in tension ridden conversations, when you are in a relationship and it's tough and you as a viewer feel that heaviness, and just having the camera just feel like a bystander. That's what I felt was so lovely about this season of Master of None. It was all about the script, and it was all about the relationship. It wasn't too much about how pretty it was. It wasn't about costumes. It wasn't about, it was, but it was really, it felt so raw. You know what I mean? And it also, again, is a narrative that isn't explored too much in Hollywood. Seeing an African-American lesbian couple. What was interesting was how basically they cheated on each other, and then that was the beginning of the end. Not even, that was really the end. The beginning of the end was the miscarriage, which is another topic in itself. But I really do want to talk about the miscarriage for a moment. I don't think that there's been anything that really showed the process of a miscarriage as well as this season of Master of None, because we've seen it in different series and whatever as a woman who wants to carry and the difficulty. But like this series really took us through the steps of seeing her having to give herself a shot, seeing her break down in the nurse's room, seeing her break down in the lobby, seeing her break down in front of her partner for losing the baby initially and what that feels like. And it was just so on point of what this type of couple goes through, especially at that age bracket when it's not just as easy for you to just, let's try again. Number one, we've got two vaginas. That's step number one. Okay, we need to get another body part up in there to try. Having sperm tested, and it just felt like, wow, all of this, like you really have to want to bear children to go through this excruciating process. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. I respect any woman who decides to do that for herself. But me personally, just me personally, if I feel like it is taking that much effort into bearing a child, I really am just going to take that as it's really just not for me, because she went through a lot. She went through so much to try to conceive, and she had the miscarriage at first, then she tried again, it didn't happen, and paying thousands of dollars, not to mention the thousands of dollars you're going to spend on this kid once it's here, just to get the child. Can you imagine? I'm still trying to pay off my student loans, okay? Again, I respect any woman who has gone through that process. I just personally don't think that I am brave enough. I don't think I'm brave enough. I really personally, and I've said this to different friends of mine, that I am more likely to adopt if I ever get to a point where I'm just like, I don't think I could bear kids and whatever. I'm more likely to adopt than I am to try to get my body in a place where I can bear children. I am just going to accept the natural law of things, and having to do all of that is such a deep emotional process that you have to be so resilient as a woman. Okay? So resilient. And I love in this series where she's like, we're going to get this done. You know why? Because I'm a bad bitch. Are you a bad bitch? And she's having to gas up the doctor. But that's how it is, though, because it's like, if both of y'all are going to do it, you have to believe. You have to believe in the process. You have to believe that you're a bad bitch, that your doctor's a bad bitch, and y'all going to be two fucking bad bitches getting this shit done. Now, what I thought was interesting when they actually reconnected, but now they're cheating on their other partners back in the house where everything all started. I was like, oh, isn't that funny? How they went through all that. And really, it almost feels like the child was the issue. It's like, okay, now that the child is here, it's grown, and Lena Waithe has her own child now, and she's kind of accepted some things in her life, now gone back to work at a company and not working for herself and all this stuff, and just life happened for them, but now they still really miss each other. It just really painted all of the shades of gray in a relationship. Anybody out there who thinks relationships should be black and white, they're not, and they never will be. Relationships have a lot of shades of gray. At least that's what I believe, and I don't think I could ever be with somebody who sees a relationship as black and white. I just can't. I'm not going to. Because we as humans are complicated, therefore relationships are complicated. And I really think that this new season of Master of None painted that so beautifully, that relationships are hard, but two people have to want to work at it. Two people want to have to make it work regardless of all of the trials and tribulations. I do love that it, so much of it was set on upstate New York. I low-key want to farm too. And I love that all of the chickens were named after pop divas like Tina Turner and Shaka Khan. I was like, that is amazing. I want to have chickens and name them after Beyonce and Mariah Carey and Ariana Grande. I want to do that. What would I call the rooster? TBD. But if you have not seen this new season of Master of None, watch it. Grab some tissues because you are bound to cry at least once during this series. Check it out, y'all. It was a really raw, relevant, amazing show. I loved it. I hope you do too.